typical street YouTuber that's either in you or it's on you, no in between. Cash Rules Global TV, $sign for the S.
What we on, Global Gang? What's the deal? Cash Rules Global TV. Tapping in. Back at it again. Just open up them trap doors, create a wilderness content, push it out, and get it going, you heard? Man, if you happen to be new to the channel, go ahead and bang that subscribe button. Spam up that like button next. Get us in the algorithm. Get us about 500. We can keep these trap doors open. Go ahead and get you some Cash Rules Global merch. You hear me? Now, from what it looks like, it has been reported. ChiaBenji, y'all love him on this channel. Spam him up, all his fans, you know what I'm saying? Tap in. He has been charged with murder. And like TK, he doing the run. You know what I'm saying? He doing the dash, everything above. Let's see how this ends out. And let's see the details. Glows in the chat.
Placed evidence markers next to shell casings on E Street near the Go Go Amigo corner store. Police say the shooting killed a 50-year-old Stockton man. Happened just after 8 o'clock on Saturday.
50?
Goes by Kennedy says he heard at least 40 rounds from his home when he was watching his younger sibling.
Ooh-wee. Breaking news. Oakland rapper Kai Benji has been arrested for the murder of a 50-year-old man from Stockton. Now, obviously, this is breaking news and it's a big deal, but we'll get into the specifics later. But first, I want to cover the background information, just so if you don't know who Kai Benji is, you will. Makai Adams, commonly known as Kai Benji, is a rapper from East Oakland, specifically from High Street. Now, if you're familiar with Oakland, you know that High Street is not really like that. Like, it's not the hood.
First of all, uptown, downtown, Fairfax, High Street is for sure on that. I don't know what you talking about. Brookdale.
If you grew up in Oakland, you know that that's where kids went to avoid the hood stuff. It's basically like the hoods in LA, you know, middle to upper class homes, decent families, not, you know, the absolute trenches. But these days in Oakland, everything's different. Like, to be really with the shit, you don't have to be from anywhere. You don't even have to be from Oakland to bang a gang in Oakland. And it all became this way because of Case Gang's emergence in the early 2000s. Historically, the reason Oakland never had gangs is because everything was about the gang and respect as an individual. Like, if I'm from Seminary and then in West Oakland you got Acorn and Ghost Town beefing, that has nothing to do with me. I'm a player. I could be cool with both sides. It doesn't matter. That's how it used to be.
All right, that's a fact. But Swan Stories, you speaking a little too in depth, and you is not accurate, blood.
They weren't going to choose sides of anything that had nothing to do with them personally. But then, like I said before, Case Gang came around and ruined that for everyone. They were truly demons that Oakland had never seen before, just coming through, bullying everyone and making them choose a side. You're either with Case Gang or we're going to smoke all of you. And after doing this for years and years, they basically took over most of the hoods in Oakland. This was horrible for Oakland because in the previous generations, in order for something to be real beef, it really had to be real beef. But now with Case, they were starting shit for absolutely no reason. And to keep this going, they kept on recruiting younger and younger generations all over Oakland. And that takes us to what I would call the fourth generation of Case, which is pretty much known as BBG, and it'll make sense later why they're differentiated. What's important to know is that everyone in the Bay is scared of BBG. They might not want to hear this, but it's facts. Please understand that the Bay Area is not like Chicago or Baton Rouge or Philly, where dudes will just go crash out instantly over anything that happened. Generally speaking, street dudes in the Bay are moving smart or scared, depending on how you look at it. But they don't want to go to jail, and they don't want to have any reason to get violent. They just...
Who wants to go to jail first and foremost? And violence ain't never good for paper. If you get money, you know that. Swan Story, stay in your place.
Want to make their diss songs and have everyone think that they're really with the shit. That's except for one group of people, Case Gang, but more specifically the BBGs. You mess with these dudes and they will be at your door that night. These are the real crash outs of the Bay Area, and none more than Kai Benji himself. If you don't know, Kai came out as a rapper in 2020 when he was just 16 years old. And despite his young age, this dude was rapping like I've never seen before, just talking the craziest shit ever. He was rapping about spinning blocks, catching op after op, and not to mention that in every video he had a Call of Duty loadout. So naturally, Kai was going up. Every song was hitting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views, and I was like, this guy is the next big rapper out of the Bay.
Bitch, 308
on this tablet, leave this shit spill. Why you pissing on your hands? I'm fresh up off the drill. Hey, you niggas hey. Thought a nigga caught a face shot, said so. Baby had 2 3s when I'm here. Check the story, 7 niggas had been lost. That body was a draw, more real niggas full. Really know you cause a static kid dead. Nigga 50 on my dick cause the BBG stretch. Niggas catching bullets in these streets, niggas fix. Nigga covered down the skin with this A in his
Not only was his music and his image hard, but his beef was also all over the internet. Basically, I'm just saying that he had the perfect recipe to be one of the first rappers to make it out of the bag, or at least on some street shit. But unfortunately, Kai was really living like that in real life. Like everything he was saying in the songs, he was actually doing.
Like most artists from the Bay, they really own that. On the contrary, what Goofy Song Story is talking about.
That's according to everyone I've talked to on both sides. Like, his ops told me the same thing. Like, they told me that even at very young ages, before all the rapping, he was the first one hopping out the car. Bounce out with the chopper, man. So, unfortunately, this would all catch up to him, and right as his career was taking off, he would be arrested and sentenced to multiple years. So, from 2021 to 2024, Kai Benji was locked up, leaving us with nobody else to listen to. Okay, but all jokes aside, while he was locked up, Case's politics would hit the fan. An internal beef would kick off, they started smoking each other back to back to back, and, it was all bad. If you want me to make a video on that, I definitely will. So please let me know. Well, now we fast forward 3 years to Kai Benji's release, September 2024. In my opinion, Kai Benji's release was kind of underwhelming. It was almost like everyone forgot about him. I think it's because during the 3 years he was gone, EBK kind of took over and blew up with the crash out music scene. Or, get this, it's because Kai Benji came home rapping like a Muppet.
I told niggas we a shake back, they ain't wanna believe it. Now look at the top on the side of the street, boy. Don't fuck with me, no switch on that DZ, we don't need it. All these ends still kill you when I'm leaving. 3 years, I swear to God, couldn't wait till they free me. Shut the fuck out of Billy, all that lacking, you see this now Oakland murder rate going up, I start breathing. Boy, my niggas got the whole shit, and free flame, you know I get a drunk, his ass get burnt up. Let's clear this up, we was spinning way before a bean. All them niggas that was dying wasn't even bees. Don't believe the hype, this shit ain't what they make it seem. Jumped out and don't tap you, I ain't need to be. Jumped out, don't tap you, I ain't need to be.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to his voice. But what's important is that after doing 3 years, you'd hope that he would just sit back and try his best to regain his career. No glaze, but you have nothing to prove in the streets. Just focus on your music and stacking up the millions. Or the thousands. You ain't that big. But no, according to Oakland police, just 6 days after being released from prison, Kai Benji was right back in the field. September 8th, 2024. It's a Sunday night in Oakland, and allegedly Kai Benji and his friend named Keontae are out in the field hitting licks. Details aren't specific yet, but from what we know, they pull up to Deep East Oakland, specifically 105th and East Street. This is where they spot a 50-year-old man named Lamore Payne outside the Go-Go Market. They jump out, try to get what they can get, but unfortunately, Lamore is not going. So tragically, they unload over 40 times at him.
Detectives placed evidence markers next to shell casings.
Allegedly, that's a tragic situation.
Corner store. Police say the shooting killed a 50-year-old Stockton man. Happened just after 8 o'clock on Saturday. This neighbor, who goes by Kennedy, says he heard at least 40 rounds from his home when he was watching his younger siblings.
I told my siblings to back up from the window since there was gunshots and didn't want anything to happen to them. I told them to.
Kennedy says this is the second homicide.
They used to come, buy some stuff here and there.
This was yet another senseless tragedy in Oakland. And despite Oakland police rarely solving anything, within the next months, the suspects would be named. On October 18th, 18-year-old Keontae Reed would be located and arrested. And an arrest warrant would be made for 21-year-old Kai Adams. However, he could not be located. Instead, Kai would hit the road and keep making his music. Catch me if you can, but I'ma do my thing. So from what we know, Oakland police are still looking for Kai Benji. Where is he? No glazing, but this dude is different.
All right, we don't want to hear what you got to say. No more Swan stories. Appreciate for you bringing that to light. But with that being said, Global Gang, let me know what y'all think about Kai Benji. How he's stepping. Is he moving a little too fast? Is he gonna get back on his right rap hype? What's the deal? Swamp Stories getting a little reckless, putting paint where it ain't. Bomb down. You hear me? Man, with that being said, remember, all money ain't good money, and slow motion damn sure better than no motion. If you happen to be new to the channel, go ahead and bang that subscribe button. Spam up that like button next, keep us in the algorithm. Go ahead, grab you some Cash Rules Golden merch. You hear me? We gonna keep them trap doors open.